Hello and welcome to my video lesson 4.5 on the difference of squares. So this is a type of factoring. We have GCF, difference of squares, PSA1 and PSA2. Those are the four different types of factoring. So we've gotten GCF done, we have PSA done, now we're looking at difference of squares. This is actually a really easy concept, so hopefully you find it easy as well. Here it is, let's take a look. Difference of squares is actually easy, let's follow a few rules. So difference of squares. So what this means is that we have two square numbers. They could be numbers, they could be variables, okay? So let's say they're numbers. So 25 minus 81, okay? If they were numbers, what we would do is we would square root both of them, and we would put those numbers inside brackets. So square root of 25 is 5, square root of 81 is 9. We would write like this, and we would do it again like this. All right, so we square rooted both. Oh, whoops, I made a mistake here. This is plus. So one of the two is plus, one of the two is minus. Okay, so then what we do is, this is all we're going to have to do if it's a variable. We just go straight from there to there. But if we want to just compare to make sure that our numbers are the same, let's go ahead and do a little bit of work here. So this is going to be negative 4, all right, and this inside will be 14. So that will give us a negative 40 plus 16, 56. Okay, so negative 56 as our answer. And then if we check over here, if we just simply go 25 minus 81, we're also going to get negative 56. If you want, you can test it in your calculator if you don't trust my mental math skills. But anyways, there it is. So what you can see here is that if we do this rule with just numbers, it works. And the rule basically in general, if you can do it with numbers, you can do it with algebra. So let's take a look at these algebraic ones here. We've got a squared minus b squared. What we're going to do is go a plus b and a minus b. We have now factored our first set of difference of squares. So the key here is that it's a difference, right, of squares. They both have to be square numbers. If they're not squares, and if it's not a difference, it will not work. Okay, but otherwise you can follow this rule. Square root one, square root the other, put them in, one positive, one negative. All right, let's take a look here. Make sure that you take a GCF first if you can in a specific question. So here it is. We're going to take the square root of the first one, which is just x, and we're going to put it in like this. We're going to do a positive version, a negative version. Then we take the square root of the second one, which is 5, and we put it in like that. Okay, now we're going to take a look at this next one here. You're going to notice that there's a GCF that we can take out first. So we can take out a GCF of 5. So if we divide by 5 in both places, we get 4 in this one. So now we can, once we have that, now we can set up our difference of squares. So plus and minus, and then we take the 4, square root it, and we get 2. Okay, looking at this next example here, we can take out a GCF of 3, which is always your first step. Now, this, whoops, I made a mistake. Now, this to many people would be a terrifying proposition. We've got x to the 4. Why would we do this? Oh no, what are we going to do? It's okay, we're still doing the same skills every time. We just square root it. The square root of x to the 4 is x squared. Or another way to say that is x squared times x squared equals x to the 4. Okay, so let's continue. So we get x squared plus something and x squared minus something. Whoops, and that something is going to be a 1, because 1 times 1 equals 1, or another way to say that is the square root of 1 is 1. Okay, this looks like we're done, but we're not, okay, because there's another difference of squares. I'm going to use blue to just show this. This is also a difference of squares. So the first part is actually going to stay the same. Okay, But the second part is what's going to change. This is going to be now x plus 1 and x minus 1. And that is it fully factored. So watch out for one of these types of questions, okay? Watch out. Okay, let's continue. Those are 3 example questions that I've done. Now I highly recommend that you try these out for yourself. Pause the video here, try it out for yourself, and then press play when you're ready. Alright, I like to just set this up in terms of 2 brackets like this. The first one positive, the second one negative. Then we take the square root of the first number, put it in there, take the square root of the second number, put it in there, and we're done. Okay, the second question, we're going to take out a GCF of 7, which is going to leave us with x squared minus 9. Then we're going to notice that the 9 is a perfect square, which means that we can do the next level, which is going to look like this, and square root of 9 is 3, so we can put it in like that. All right, and our last question here, we've got a factor, GCF of 2, and we can take out 2 here as well. Okay, now we can simplify this, so we get x squared plus 4 and x squared minus 4. Now you'll notice that the first part, really we can't do anything. But the second part, oh boy, we can do it again. X plus 2 and x minus 2. And that's our final answer. Well, I hope this video helped you better understand a difference of squares with these, especially these progressively more complicated questions. I hope it helped, and good luck.